Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Verse 40. कृक्षो महान् इह भवार्णवम् अप्लवेशाम् षड्वर्गनक्रम् असुखेन तितीर्षन्ति तत् त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयमङ्घ्रिम् कृत्वोडुपम् व्यसनम् उत्तरदुस्तरार्णम्. The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. It's very difficult to cross. Many dangerous sharks. But material existence is compared herein to the great ocean of nescience, Bhavasagara. Another name of this ocean is Vaitarani. In that Vaitarani ocean, which is the causal ocean, there are innumerable universes floating like footballs. Actually, in Varga Samhita, it's called Udumbara. There is a fruit called Udumbara. So universes are like Udumbara or Anda actually. Another closest comparison is Anda. It's oval shaped. On the other side of the ocean is the spiritual world of Vaikuntha, which is described in Bhagavad Gita as Parastasmat Bhavonya. Thus, there is an ever existing spiritual nature which is beyond this material nature. Even though all the material universes are annihilated again and again in the causal ocean, the Vaikuntha planets, which are spiritual, exist eternally and are not subject to dissolution. The human form of life gives the living entity a chance to cross the ocean of nescience, which is this material universe, and enter into the spiritual sky. Although there are many methods or boats by which one can cross the ocean, the Kumaras recommend that the king take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, just as one would take shelter of a good boat. Non-devotees who do not take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet try to cross the ocean of nescience by other methods, karma, gnana, and yoga. But they have a great deal of trouble. Indeed, sometimes they become so busy simply enjoying their troubles that they never cross the ocean. There is no guarantee that the non-devotees will cross the ocean. But even though they manage to cross, they have to undergo severe austerities and penances. On the other hand, anyone who takes to the process of devotional service and has faith, we spoke about this yesterday, and has faith that the lotus feet of the Lord are safe boats to cross that ocean, is certain to cross very easily and comfortably. So there are two ways to cross the ocean. One is a gradual process, the other is the immediate process. Gradual process involves going to higher planetary systems, not necessarily Swarga, but Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, then Satyaloka, and then along with Brahma entering Vaikuntha. That is the gradual process. But those who desire intensely service of Krishna directly, not other processes, can go directly to Krishna. Of course, the devotee is given an opportunity to serve Krishna in Bhauma Vrindavan. Vrindavan that manifests on earth, meaning the Bhauma Leela, in the pastimes of Krishna on the earth, wherever is given the opportunity to go there. And then he becomes, even if there are some little impurities, they're all removed. So the jiva becomes perfectly pure to associate with Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. And the qualification actually to become part of this Leela is just intense greed. It's just intense greed. Even if there is some residual impurity, still a devotee gets opportunity. We see that in Bhagavatam. So there are many types of devotees who become gopis in Vrindavan. And then there is discussion about how some who are completely pure, they get direct association of Krishna, and others are given association of the Sakhis, of the dear Sakhis of Srimati Radharani, and then they become pure. So there is a lot of technicalities. It's called Purva Raga, etc. But the whole point is that it's not that we have to be completely pure. Even some residual impurities will go. Because such a devotee is also given an opportunity to serve in Bhauma Leela. So Krishna is so merciful. So all that we need to develop is intense greed to achieve service of Krishna. So what should we do for that? For achieving intense greed? Somebody was asking me, Prabhu, we don't have attraction at all to Krishna. What should we do?
Intense devotional service.
Intense devotional service, okay.
Serve devotees, Prabhu.
Okay, serve devotees.
Also having attachment in hearing the pastimes of Lord.
Okay, hearing, attachment to hearing pastimes of Lord.
And service.
Anything else? Which we are doing on a daily basis.
Read.
Okay. You're all missing the
Harinam.
core process.
Chanting.
Harinam.
Chanting purely.
Chanting. Because what are we doing during chanting? What are we supposed to do during chanting? What is the meaning of chanting?
Praying for their service, praying to Srimati Radharani to engage us in their service.
Okay, praying. Okay. What else are we doing?
Surrender. Actually, surrender is very important.
Okay, surrendering. Yeah,
Hare
Sumantra
Krishna.
Mataji. Yeah.
Try to connect with the lotus feet of the Lord, to hear and chant.
Okay, hear and chant. Okay, now we see some on the street. Sometimes the signals, we see some people who are coming to ask for alms. What is the comparison between those people and what we are doing on a daily basis?
Yeah, laziness.
Laziness, okay.
Not
They are
coming out of comfort zone.
Okay.
They're begging, Prabhuji.
Begging. What are we doing? Are we begging?
No, Prabhu.
That's the problem. So if we want that intense, we want devotional service and we don't want anything else, we have to like fervently beg. And we understand the begging process, right? We should understand the begging process. The begging process is not about getting what we are entitled for. And the begging process is about feeling helpless, is about feeling that we are inferior, uh, is feeling that we actually absolutely want it, isn't it? So we have to become a beggar. If we become a perfect beggar, then we will develop greed. Of course, I mean, the basis is Shravanam. Mm. And another important thing also is to associate with those devotees who have that desire, who have developed that desire already. These two are important. And then the begging process becomes critical. So I was thinking the other day saying that if we really wanted Krishna, we wouldn't do our chanting the way we are doing, isn't it? So carelessly thinking about so many material things because we want those material things. We don't really want Krishna. Krishna is in the end of the list, isn't it? We have a long list and at the end of that list. So our japa is also like our japa reflects our urgency, our seriousness. So we have to develop this intense greed, laulyam ekam, olyam. So we have to hear about Krishna, we have to associate with those devotees who have that, who have developed that. Because those who have developed that, they in their own words, in the way they serve, in the way they do bhakti, in the way every aspect of their life, that intense desire will be seen, right? So we should associate, we should serve such devotees, we should hear from them, and more importantly, we should very nicely beg. That morning begging process. Just remember, Krishna's name is super powerful. Nama Chintamani. It's a Chintamani. Nama Chintamani Krishna's. Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It's Chintamani. It can give us anything. But we should not ask for anything else. We should ask for Krishna. We should ask for their service. That is important. That is why if we just do without any of this, just if you continue, keep on doing Vaidhi Bhakti without any kind of attachment to Krishna, then we will end up going to Vaikuntha. Or, yeah, if we still want Krishna, we'll go to Dwaraka. But we will not go to Vrindavan. How many devotees want to go to Dwaraka? Anybody here wanting to go to Dwaraka? Mathura, Dwaraka.
For pilgrimage, yes, true, but
Not
ultimate,
pilgrimage.
yeah,
Not pilgrimage. Why not Dwarka?
because there is not Vrajendra Nandan Krishna.
So what? What do we know about Rajendra Nandan Krishna?
In Dwarka, Lord Krishna is a king. It is an opulence is there. There's no simultaneous love for Krishna and servitor of Krishna is not there. He's in a very
No.
other
It's there.
mood.
It's there.
He's in a very different mood in Vrindavan.
No, but I mean, wherever Krishna is there, there is service. There is nothing like no service, and there is love also. Otherwise, Krishna doesn't even entertain anybody near him. So even in Dwarka, there is love, there is service.
The mood is very different, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Like
So
over there,
but
it's
क्यों
a
क्या
very,
है why we don't
it's
want Dwarka?
over there, like he's like a judge, he's like a king, and like you're in awe and reverence there with them.
Yeah, but we want we all of us
Go,
also we want
गोपी भाव भी नहीं है ना, गोपी भी नहीं,
नहीं
गोपी
लेकिन
नहीं
गोपी
है ना।
भाव क्यों चाहिए हमें तो ऐश्वर्या भाव चाहिए ना in the material world everybody is behind Aishwarya
Exchange
not
of love.
Aishwarya Rai Aishwarya everybody is behind Aishwarya right so here we want Aishwarya wahan we want gopi bhav that won't work that doesn't work right see this is this is Krishna consciousness right Krishna consciousness means whatever is our consciousness currently that will continue even Lakshmi Devi couldn't enter Krishna's pastimes what are we so we have to understand saying that if we don't develop that intense liking attachment ruchi for Krishna in Vrindavan and understand Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yoveti Tatvatah. We have to understand the difference. And we have to, our life should reflect that. Krishna, life in Vrindavan is very simple. If it is opulent, but it is very simply opulent. Very different from Dwaraka. Mood of Krishna is also very different. But if we want that Vrindavan Krishna, we also have to enter into that mood. Right? Which means that we should not be attached to things that are going to take us away from Vrindavan. And we should like every aspect of Vrindavan. There's discussed a description by one of our acharyas saying that in Vrindavan, okay, let me ask you, how many of you like to be in the midst of cow dung? In the midst of cow dung. Like cow dung all over you, all around you. Over you also maybe, but around you. If you say, it's so dirty, it's so smelly. Goloka Vrindavan is heaps of cow dung everywhere. If you don't like cows, if you don't like krishi, like natural, simple living, live on the farm. Live on the farm is Krishna's life. Right? Krishna lives in a forest. He's going playing around in the forest with his friends, etc. So the mood of Vrindavan is very different. And we should like that mood. I mean, more than like, yeah, it's like, when we hear of that, we should feel, oh, yes, I naturally belong to this place. And yeah, it's okay if we are not there yet. We have to, if you want Vrindavan Krishna, we have to develop this mood. As in, that is the whole idea of hearing is to get attracted. Oh, wow, this is so nice. I want to serve Krishna here. I want to serve Krishna like this. I want to serve Krishna like that. How do we know what all services are available? What all services are available in Goloka? Do we know?
Gocharan.
There are like innumerable. There are like unlimited services. That's just one of them. And that too, that is like a 30,000 feet level. What do we think? What kind of service? What do our acharyas say? For example, I heard somewhere. I am not read it yet, but I heard in some class. Some senior Vaishnava was talking about Narottam Das Thakur. What is Narottam Das Thakur's seva in Goloka? They were saying that it is bringing camphor for something else to be used in some service. That's all. somebody else, I think Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, is boiling milk. So there are services, and it's not like we will get one whole service. There are innumerable devotees out there. And we'll get some little part of the service. And the beauty is every day looks like a new day for the devotees in Goloka. So it's the first time they feel like, oh, this is the first time I'm bringing camphor to Krishna. This is the first time I'm boiling milk for Krishna. This is the first time. So every day the mood is so new and perfect, and devotees trying to perfectly do their service. So we have to actually get into that level of detail where we know, oh, okay, this service, this part of this service, I intensely desire to serve Krishna in this way. So we have a long way to go. Why long way to go? We still don't even know what services are available. And Goloka Vrindavana is not like, temple or some center where somebody is just allocating services. Isn't it? What is the difference in some temple or center, somebody allocating services versus getting service in Goloka? What is the difference? How is service allocated in Goloka? Service gets allocated in Goloka based on our intense greed. Because there's so much competition. If we look at capability, then we might not even be anywhere. Pretty much everybody is more capable than us in different aspects. But there can't be any, there is nobody can stop us from intensely loving Krishna, intensely desiring to serve Krishna in a particular way. And that is the key. And for that we have to hear. And not at 30,000 feet level. Please understand, we are reading Prabhupada's books. We have to be pakka with Prabhupada's books. Then Prabhupada wants us to read previous acharyas. Previous acharyas reveal all this beautiful picture of Goloka. And we have to come to that level of purity to hear all that. And if you are struggling to give time to just read Prabhupada's books, and of course we cannot jump to our previous acharyas without completely reading Prabhupada's books. Because like I've said multiple times, Prabhupada's books actually put that foundation. And what is the foundation Prabhupada is building in us? If you generalize Prabhupada's writing, his purports, what topics come to your mind? Generalize. We've been discussing for so many days, so many things. What are the key topics that Prabhupada is writing about? Key topics. Because he's written about so many things. But if you have to say some key takeaways, what comes to your mind? What is Prabhupada emphasizing?
We are not body, we are soul.
Okay, that's very basic. Okay.
We are servants of Krishna.
Okay, we are servants of Krishna. Then
complete surrenderance to Krishna.
Okay, complete surrender. Okay.
And we are part and parcel of Krishna.
Yeah, that is fine. All that is basics.
Yeah,
Basics.
yes.
Servant means part and parcel. We are not body, we are soul.
Okay.
We are in the material world. No, all that is given. Right. I'm talking about slightly higher order topics.
Unflinching, unalloyed faith and surrender.
Okay, faith and surrender. Okay.
Need to be serious about the
Okay.
service.
Need to be serious. So Prabhupada wants us to become pure, basically. Right? Pure how? By giving up our material attachments. By giving up attachment to this miserable material world. By doing some austerities. By following the process properly. By doing all these, by following Varnashrama, by doing our responsibility. By doing all this, actually we become pure. Pure. So Prabhupada's purports are not for already pure devotees. Of course, there are certain parts of Prabhupada is like, he intersperses, he puts in That pure devotional service, rasa is also somewhere here and there in his purports, but that's not his focus, because he knows the audience. See, our previous acharyas were writing for audience who are already pure. But Prabhupada has written his books for those of us who are not pure. So the platform foundation that Prabhupada is putting for us is purity, surrender, desire. This is the foundation. And then when we are firmly fixed on that foundation, then we can enter into previous acharyas writing. Because they enter into rasas. And yeah, specifically Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Further, actually, Tattva also, Rasa Tattva, Rupa Goswami. Then Rasa itself, entering into Rasa, mainly Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Then Raghunath Das Goswami. So we have to enter all these, and different acharyas have given emphasis on different things, all of which are important for us. So when do we do all that? When do we finish Prabhupada's books 5 times? At least 3 times, if not 5 times. So what is your target? To finish all of Prabhupada's books 3 times. We are in 2025, January 24th. Does anybody have a target? To finish at least 3 times? Some calendar timeline? If not, please think about it. And put a realistic timeline. One
So
good
how
thing
long
about the
generally it takes?
timeline. One good thing about the timeline is if you put that timeline, Krishna will mercifully make sure that we will be around in this material world till we finish that. In Bhagavatam, Shaunaka Muni is telling Suta Goswami that we invited Yamaraja here for this Shravanam Kirtanam camp. And till Yamaraja is here, nobody who is here will die. So it's like that. If you are constantly in touch with Prabhupada's books and we have some aim to finish some reading target we have, we can be sure that we'll remain alive till then. Put a timeline.
Yeah. So how long it takes for reading Prabhupada's books once? If let's say we spend 2 hours, right, every day.
2 hours
with
every
that.
day? 2 hours every
Yeah.
day is 50. But 2 good hours every day you will be able to read about. It depends on your speed of reading. So if suppose say I do about 2 hours 50-60 pages I do. Bhagavatam. So I had done some calculation. If you do 60 pages, we can finish within 8 months. 8 months to 1 year, we can finish Bhagavatam. At the same pace, Chaitanya Charitamrita will be 4 months, 3 to 4 months. So yeah, 2 years, I would say max. Once we can finish.
Yeah, but I also make notes, Prabhu, and then there I get stuck unless I don't realize it, and also my speed is slowing because of that.
Okay, so that you can take maybe another 1 year further. Because see, second time reading should be much faster. Third time reading we should be much faster. First time reading might take a little time. And of course, I mean, not all of this we should also discuss with other devotees. Then it also becomes much clearer for us. Of course, I mean, we can also try but we should not speculate when we get stuck. That is why I don't encourage devotees to try and figure answers themselves, because if we speculate, then we'll go wrong. If you didn't understand, realization might not come immediately. Understanding of the knowledge connections between various pieces of knowledge, etc., that might come, but that also requires different kind of study. It requires, for example, you searching on Veda base and doing some research on that, etc. Right? Not speculating. Other easy ways to talk to other devotees who might have answers. Might also make it more authentic, more than not that we become lazy, but we should not speculate. Otherwise, if we are putting effort to understand things in Prabhupada's books, that is good. But it should be without speculation. That's very, very difficult, because generally when we get stuck with something, we start speculating. We should not speculate. It should the process of understanding is something we don't understand. Can I understand it by reading other parts of Prabhupada's books? That is the method. But is that clear? What I just said?
Yes, Roji. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Rohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I
Hare
wanted
Krishna.
to tell about an app, BSage. It will calculate the dates, based on the pages or slokas. So I just shared in the group.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Prthu Maharaj is therefore advised to take the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord to easily cross over all dangers. One more realization I got yesterday. Think about the scene that was set for giving us Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. What is the scene? What is the common situation in both Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam?
The imminent death.
Sorry?
Death, Prabhuji, imminent. Like
Okay.
it is very
Okay,
clear.
death. Okay.
And you have a speaker and you have a listener.
Okay.
Some urgency, Prabhu, in the situation.
Okay, urgency. Okay.
Yeah, bewilderment.
Okay,
And then
bewilderment. Parikshit Maharaj was not bewildered. Okay, a little bit we can say. Okay. The action that he did before was, but yeah, okay. So the key we should be able to see is that both the devotees were in so-called difficulties. Both the devotees were put in so-called difficulties. So we should also understand that one of the fastest, best ways for us to realize and make progress is when we are in difficulty, not when we are out of difficulty. And when we are in difficulty, we pray to Krishna to take us out of the difficulty. But actually, what we should be praying is give me more realizations, make me more fixed in bhakti. I just got this realization yesterday. Somebody was saying, so much of trouble, is that and all. I said, see, that is the most conducive environment for making progress. Anyway, dangerous elements in the universe are compared to sharks in the ocean. Even though one may be a very expert swimmer, he cannot possibly survive if he is attacked by sharks. One often sees that many so-called swamis and yogis sometimes advertise themselves as competent to cross the ocean of nescience and to help others cross. But in actuality, they are found to be simply victims of their own senses. Instead of helping their followers to cross the ocean of nescience, such swamis and yogis fall prey to Maya, represented by the fair sex woman, and are thus devoured by the sharks in that ocean. Yeah, I mean, this is so common. So yeah, we have to be very careful. Okay. Maitreya Vacha. स एवं ब्रह्मपुत्रेण कुमारेणात्म मेधसा दर्शितात्मगतिः सम्यक् पश्यस्योवाच तं नृपः. The great sage Maitreya continued, being thus enlightened in complete spiritual knowledge by the son of Brahma, one of the Kumaras, who was complete in spiritual knowledge. The king worshipped them in the following words. In these words, the word Atma Medhasa is commented upon by Sripad Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who says that Atmani means unto Lord Krishna, Paramatmani. Lord Krishna is Paramatma, Ishvara, Parama Krishna. Therefore, one whose mind is acting fully in Krishna consciousness is called Atma Medhaha. This may be contrasted to Griha Medhi, which refers to one whose brain is always engrossed with thoughts of material activities. The Atma Medha is always thinking of Krishna's activities in Krishna consciousness. Since Sanat Kumara, who was a son of Lord Brahma, was fully Krishna conscious, he could point out the path of spiritual advancement. The word Atmagatihi refers to that path of activities by which one can make progress in understanding Krishna. Okay, I think we'll stop here. Already 8:50. Any questions, comments?
Hare
Okay.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I did not understand the difference in being in Dwarkadish and in Vrindavan.
Okay.
Could you just explain it
Okay.
again? Sorry.
No problem. Okay. Anybody wants to share their understanding between Dwarka and Vrindavan? Okay, so at a very uber level, very easily to distinguish is Aishwarya Bhav and Madhurya Bhav. So Dwaraka is completely Aishwarya. In fact, the devotees in Dwaraka, they think of Krishna as the all-pervading super soul. Of course, they also, but they also just simply love Krishna. But they have some understanding about his supreme position, that is all-pervading, is that and all that. So they have understanding of his Aishwarya, and so they worship him in Aishwarya. But there's also love. We can see in Bhagavatam when Krishna comes back, enters Dwaraka. So everybody's so happy. They say that even like life has come back. And they ask in that, okay, if you keep going here and there to meet your friends and relatives, we hardly get to see you. So that is longing for Krishna. So they have that longing. They love Krishna. But the mood is steeped in Aishwarya, opulence. External opulence, Krishna's opulence as the Supreme Lord, all that. And more importantly, Krishna himself doesn't quite enjoy his Dwaraka pastimes. Krishna is missing Vrindavan. Never is there any mention of Krishna missing Dwarakavasis. Of course, Krishna reciprocates. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. But even when he's in Dwarka, what is he thinking about? He's just thinking about his Vrindavan, his Brajavasis. It's so personal to Krishna. It's so dear to Krishna, Vrindavan. Vrindavan is natural, we can say, like, Krishna being in Vrindavan is his natural state. Especially Krishna being with Radharani is his natural state of existence, or that's what he wants. That's what he cherishes. That's what this whole material creation is for. To help him be in Vrindavan and be in the association of Srimati Radharani. Everything else is a not so happy situation for Krishna. Not so happy. What is this? Krishna feels sad? Of course he feels sad. Krishna cries when he's in Dwaraka, longing to go back to his dear devotees in Goloka, in Vrindavan. And what is the superiority of the devotees in Vrindavan? They just don't, for them, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord is not important. They're not worshipping Krishna because he's the Supreme Lord, because he's the Supreme Controller, because he's this, because he's that. They just love Krishna because they love Krishna. That's all. In whatever mood they want to serve Krishna, they just love him in that way, purely. Yeah, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Okay, fine, no problem. But that doesn't overcome their love, which is based on sweetness. So their natural love doesn't get overcome by this understanding of his Aishwarya. So Aishwarya is somewhere in the back end. It's not come to the foreground in Vrindavan. And Krishna just loves those devotees because they love him in that way without, it's like very simple to understand, right? If somebody, suppose is somebody in some big position, and then suddenly they got that big position, and so many people, their relatives, friends, this, that, and all that, they all suddenly come from nowhere saying, "Oh, you remember, I was this in your when you were small." Why? Because they're just coming because he became a big man, because they want something out of him. Krishna doesn't like that. Krishna doesn't like that kind of love. The matlabi. It's a material intention. And that's completely absent in Vrindavan. They just love Krishna for what he is. So that is why it is madhurya, sweetness, which pervades Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. And Krishna himself likes that atmosphere that he doesn't want to leave. So Krishna says, Padam ekam nagachati. I don't even step out. Of course, don't step out meaning don't step out for a long time. If Krishna has to go sometime, he just goes and comes. Or he remains there in unmanifest form, and then his Vasudev expansion goes like that. So Krishna doesn't even want to leave Vrindavan. He's so much attached to Vrindavan. And why should we say Dwaraka or Vrindavan, this is better, that is better? And no, we are nobody to say. It's just because Krishna thinks that way. And we want to serve Krishna in the way he wants us. And Krishna likes being served in Vrindavan. So if we are purely wanting to please Krishna and do whatever pleases Krishna, Krishna will be most pleased if you can serve him in Vrindavan. Like I said again, it's not that he's he's ignoring the devotees in Dwaraka, or devotees in Dwaraka are not very exalted. No, not like that. It's just a matter of personal preference, liking. Krishna just likes Vrindavan. There's so many things we can talk, but this is the Sara, essence of why Vrindavan. We know Gopakumara goes, he sees Krishna opulently sitting on a throne with his kirita, whatever, this crown, and like a king, and Gopakumara is not happy. Gopakumara wants to see the Gopala Krishna. Gopala, who is a Gopala? Cowherd Krishna. Of course, our acharyas also say the opulence in Vrindavan is unprecedented opulence. Actually, it's more than Vaikuntha. Opulence in Vrindavan is more than in Vaikuntha, more than anybody can imagine. So it's not like the rustic village that we see around us, right? It's not like that. But the living is simple. Simple living. So though Yashoda dresses Krishna with all gold ornaments, etc., he's not so kicked about it. As soon as he comes to the forest, he wears all the gopas, gunja berry garland. Then they take all the minerals, different colors, make nice decorations on his face, and Krishna loves that. Vanamali, Vanamali. He likes all those beautiful flowers that are grown. He loves Vrindavan. Actually, one of our acharyas say that actually it's not even the town Vrindavan, meaning there are two places, right? Like there is the forest Vrindavan, and then there is the village Vrindavan where they're all staying. Krishna goes to the forest Vrindavan for pastimes. So actually that's what Krishna likes. This is like heart of the matter. The forest Vrindavan. That is why Radharani is called Vrindavaneshwari. She's the mistress, she's the queen of Vrindavan. Anyway, go on and on. Yeah, but few things that came to my mind. that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So we'll close here. Srimad Bhagavatam की जय जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यो च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय हरे कृष्ण